sila upang magukay at maghanap ng tanso, pilak, ginto. Dumating sila para tipunin ang likas na kayamanan at nanatili sila upang ingatan ang yaman ng kalikasan dahil ang kanilang ikinabubuhay ay may buhay rin at sa bawat kabutihang natatanggap, kabutihan din ang kapalit.
Hello, we're back with another episode. And this is
OA Podcast.
So I'm Hazel.
And I'm Jimmy.
And syempre to celebrate our literature month, we have our very beautiful guest today. We have Ma'am
Dumay.
Hello.
Hello po.
Ma'am.
Hello, kamusta?
Okay lang
Okay lang
naman
naman
po.
po. So how are you feeling today po, Ma'am?
I feel good. I woke up very early. I traveled from Cervantes to come here. Yes.
Today
So,
lang
yeah.
din po yung Cervantes niyo po.
Yeah. I
How's
had
your travel? So for today, our episode is all about outdoor aphorism. Outdoor aphorism is like a phrase, like for example, action speaks louder than words.
So
ganon.
that's an example of
Yes,
aphorism.
it's something short but true. Ganon. So, can you give an example?
Ako ba? Aphorism?
Ma'am?
Ma'am.
Can you give an example?
sige. Basahin ko na lang kasi memorize ko to pero kinakabahan ako. Ganon. No, raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder.
Oh.
This is from Rumi.
Rumi. I've heard of him.
Yeah, his mystical Islamic poet. Yes.
It's very, very deep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. Yeah.
Grabe, parang naapektuhan ako din.
Parang wait. Starstruck ako sa bawat words.
Ano,
Yes, it's very deep.
parang gandang ipatato. Uy! Grabe.
So with that, ma'am, ngayon na napag-usapan po natin yung outdoor aphorism, yung ganyan yung example na binigay nyo nga din. Can you give us like examples of your masterpiece?
So I wrote this last December. Basahin ko na.
Yes po.
Waves. Waves. It's an envelope from the mail. The flap opens to reveal a letter from the depths of the ocean. Read in the sunset between the silver lines, because my love resides in places not everyone listens to reach. I allow you to swim, carry your grief and your happy memories. Your body is light compared to my vastness. Dive despite the fear. Come to know the unknown. You aren't just the alluring seashells or the sand that builds skyscrapers. In the midnight zone, there's more of me, and it is there where you will find you. After a few monsoons, some typhoons, I'll carry you back to the shore. A letter from underneath, newly penned, newly written, better loved, one with the all-knowing. Yeah.
Very words is so impactful.
Saka ano din, marami din siyang parang pwede mo ma-interpret in all sorts of different ways.
Depende sa perspective.
Yes.
Can you give us an overview, ma'am? What is it all about?
The poem. Okay, so this one I wrote by the beach around January. And the past year, 2023, had been a year of struggle for my health. So I got sick with tuberculosis of the spine. So I had to take in strong antibiotics. And I lost my eyesight for 3 months and then 2 months of recovery. So I was partially blind. And, it's been moments of, it was a long while of reflection, of asking myself about what it's telling me, what's blindness, what's darkness, what's the unconscious, all those things. So waves is it's like being carried to the parts of yourself that you don't usually you don't usually pay attention to, your unconscious, your dreams. When you sleep, you dream, not your dream, your goal. Your dreams, your past memories, your implicit memories, the memories that you can't remember but your bodies remember, ancestral memories, rituals that I've grown up to, maybe even past lives. So it's like the metaphor of the midnight zone. It's me being carried there to that unseen realm, to that unseen reality. And there's a line here that said, your body is light compared to my vastness. So it's like trusting myself trusting something, whatever that is, that this what I was going through wasn't really as, it's heavy, but it's not going to end my life or something like that. So just trust myself and go where I'm being led to. It's not the usual, it's not the ego base where I have to work, where I have to make money, I have to do this to become that, to wear my mask, to, the seen reality. So it's about trusting myself to go to this unseen. And yes, being there, knowing myself in that midnight zone of my very self. And eventually, like all waves, they'll return to the shore and I'll be carried back there. And yes, I knew myself better after going through the dark night of my soul. Yes. Yeah. That was what the poem was about.
With that being said, ma'am, kasi with all those overview and yung naging parang reflection niyo po, sa tingin niyo po, ma'am, how does this emotions po affect po yung pagsusulat niyo? Or paano po kayo nakakakuha ng inspiration from these experiences to write poems?
Sometimes there were moments when I was younger. I had this discipline of writing every day. And it was good as a discipline. And lately, when a poem is meant to be written, it will urge you to write itself. So I really believe with getting in touch with your creativity and with your inspiration. And when you're too focused with the realm of the seen world, or the conscious self, you usually get creativity blocks or writer's block or things like that. And I think that the root of all inspiration and the root of your creativity really is the unconscious part of yourself, your dreams, your things that just happen without you planning spontaneous things. And when you learn really to let go and see things as they are, that's why it's important to go to nature, because you don't even really plan it or have it in your head, but it has this ability to carry you to its own waves, and then you feel better after that. And sometimes, or most of the time, they give you insight when you really learn how to see things. Because most of the time, we're too preoccupied with what happened in our past, or what am I gonna cook tonight, or the plan tomorrow, and then we forget to see the simple things. And when you are in nature, it humbles you. Sunrise, sunset, flowers, it really makes you see the emotions that matter at the moment, which is, I think, wonder and joy, the source of creativity.
Yes po.
Yeah.
A bit related to that din po. Parang I would like to get to know po your perspective in terms of parang yun nga po, sabihin nating poetry, I guess, and parang literature writing as an avenue po for healing.
Of course, any form of expression, whether poetry or painting, is very healing. So I think when I was younger, poetry really helped to regulate my emotions. I feel deeply as a person. And even me then, with no knowledge of how emotions and poetry transform somebody's consciousness, poetry really helped me regulate my difficult and unpleasant emotions, because I was able to release them. I was able to make it flow out from my body. And then there's a transformation from emotion to words. And sometimes when I'm lucky, I get to share and people get to feel it. And then there's community, there is bonding. And so all these things, from knowing your emotion, expressing your emotion, and people receiving it, and having bonding with people who went through the same experience, it's a really transformative process. So yes, I like this quote by Martin Heidegger. He said that poetry is the purest of all language, because it makes you really honest to yourself, and authenticity is really your goal in healing. Kasi a lot of depressive moods, anxious moods, they're because you're not listening to your needs, you're not listening to your feelings, you're blocking them, and you're not authentic to yourself, di ba?
So, yun po, I relate to your your perspective din po so much, kasi hindi naman po ako nagsusulat na sa sarili ng poems, pero I write songs, and in a sense natamaan din po ako na some songs write themselves, na parang meron yung nararamdaman mong emosyon ganyan, na parang hindi ko to mailabas to anyone, to parang certain conversations ganyan, na parang normal lang, na wala akong pag-open upan ganun. So parang iano ko na lang, kailangan kong alam mo yun, yung parang feeling mo sasabog ka na ganyan. Kailangan ko tong isulat in a form of a song. Ganun po ako.
Ako naman po, ma'am, kasi actually, I love writing poetry din. I love poetry din po. And before po talaga, very active ako sa pagsusulat.
Wow.
And there was this one time then, I remember, there was this one friend po, and nagkaroon po siya ng bad experience, love,
Mm-mm.
love life, ganyan. I remember po, seeing her that moment na very broken. It wasn't my experience po. But seeing that moment, dun po ako ginawan ko po siya actually ng poem.
Mm.
And dun ko po na ano na it's kahit
Hindi
hindi mo
ma-experience
experience,
mismo.
talagang maapektuhan ka, especially sa mga bagay na nasa paligid mo, with the nature, with the people around you, especially.
Kung close mo rin po.
Yes
ganyan.
po, very very close nga din. Kaya
Mm-mm.
very affected din po ako doon. Kasi parang hindi lang po siya yung naka-feel ng betrayal eh. It was like also my experience. So from there, dun ko po talagang sinulat siya.
Yes.
And yun po, dun ko din po, in addition to that din po, I remember din po nung sa media camp,
Yan.
nung session niyo po, ma'am, and you asked us to have like meditation
Mm-mm.
with yung talagang grounding,
Oo.
nakaupo sa grounds,
Sa
and
ground.
you will feel the
Earth.
earth
Yes.
and yung talagang actual connection with the nature.
Mm-mm.
Talagang parang I felt
Mm-mm.
deep inside me po that like it was like my creativity was like reawakened.
Yes.
Not just my soul but
Mm-mm.
also yun po yung pagiging poet din po
Yeah.
somehow yun. So it was a great experience po, ma'am.
Oh, you have the gift of sensitivity.
Mm.
Yeah, that's one thing, diba? You can feel deeply. You're an empath. You feel your friend's sorrow. You feel your friend's suffering, and you can be affected too,
Yes.
diba? That's really difficult for people who have this sensitivity on feelings. But at the same time, when you're also brought into those situations like your experience during the meditation, that moment you were so present
Mm.
and you felt the magic and you felt enchantment.
Mm-mm.
And those moments in life those are the ones you're looking for.
Yes.
So yeah, like some people, they find when they're heartbroken, they find fantasy and romantic comedies and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
But real magic really happens when everything in your environment goes right and you just really feel it.
Yes.
And yes, those are the range of emotions that we feel. And siguro when I was younger and writing poetry, I identified more to my negative emotions, my anger, my depression, my sadness, those things. And that's what I was releasing in my poetry.
Yes.
And now that after years of experiencing life, you also realize that there are other gifts of emotions like magic and enchantment and just this feeling of wonder. Yeah.
That's so nice to hear din po kasi actually natapatamaan na naman po ako kasi ayun that's part of most of what I write about then. It's about anger, it's about those negative emotions. Pero it's nice to know that after all these years of experiences, okay, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Ganyan. There's another side po na, okay, there's more to life.
Yeah, for
There's more
sure.
to life
For sure.
to write about.
Yeah. And just keep writing what's authentic to you. You don't have to write something light if you don't really feel
Yun
like
po.
it. Just really be authentic to yourself. And those emotions, they're pent up for siguro when you were growing up and they want to be released.
Yes, po.
So at this point, just transform them in words. And eventually you'll get to have a repertoire of these patterns of emotions, and then you'll know better how to manage them. And with you categorizing these emotions, you'll also be sensitive to things that you would want to happen, like lightness or joy or things like that. And when you are in that situation, you would be more present to it.
Yes, po.
You would appreciate it more. Yeah.
And how do you find, ano po, how do you find inspiration din po from grounding yourself in nature? Ano po?
Well, it's very inspiring for me. Lately, we had this project in Tadjan. We've been documenting the indigenous practices on forest management of the people of Tadjan. So we went to villages. And have you heard of the enchanted eel in Kagubatan?
Ano po
So
yun?
they have eels, like
Oh,
really
totoo?
big eels. And then there's a mythology about that on how the enchanted eels were there. So generations of stories, of myths about that and rituals and really it was a beautiful experience with me kasi kinento nila sa akin yung mythology niya. And then I saw the eels, they really come out, diba? It's dusk. Tapos ang ganda nung lighting and things like that. And there's this Mugaw Mountain where a giant used to live or things like that. So, yeah, and then I also witnessed the Bugnas ritual. So parang Thanksgiving after they sow seeds, ganon, to invite a good harvest, a good growth of the plants.
Yes.
So, yeah, inspiration with nature. It's like I said a while ago. It's one of the available resource for us to make ourselves present. And I tell you, like for me, a good poem is a poem that makes you feel present about the current reality. Yeah, it just makes you feel alive.
Yes.
It makes you feel something. It makes you sense something. And if you're able to carry that out in your poetry, then I think it's a really good work of art.
Yes po.
Yeah.
Grabe nga talaga yung depende sa nature din. It really affects talaga yung creativity mo, how you work. Ganun. There are times din po kasi na, kasi yung with the environment settings, you also write poetry na related po with the culture of the people with
Yeah.
that setting.
Yeah.
So, nagkaroon din po ba ng challenge minsan, ma'am? Especially for depictions po nung talaga with the culture, their practices, their traditions po.
Challenge about writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
About their culture, their...
I usually write about my own experience, about the people that I know. Although I know what you're talking about, like trying to because a lot of art expressions, they try to capture a certain culture and then nagkakaroon ng cultural appropriation or something like that, or whatever that is. It wasn't an issue to me. I went to Kalinga, I would write something about that, or the indigenous peoples in Vietnam, I would write something about that. I think it really has to do something about your authenticity too, about knowing your own values, what you value at the moment and what you write about. Really a lot of awareness na hindi ka tone deaf sa issues ng pinupuntahan mong community or yung taong you want to write about. So it really takes a lot of sensitivity. So it's not just about writing, it's also that skill of empathy para you won't carry out an offensive or at least tone deaf pieza, whatever that mode of expression is, be it video or anything. So yeah, I think it's it goes back to knowing yourself and what you value and your sincerity. Yeah.
Important din po siguro, ma'am, na especially kung you're going to places like Kalinga nga po,
Mm-mm.
or like other places pa, ma'am. It's important din siguro to do research din po in
Yeah.
order to further understand their practices so that you won't write anything that other people would misunderstand.
Mm.
Okay, so follow up na lang din po since na-mention na rin po na din nga po. Kasi actually naging topic na rin nga po yun din sa media camp, di ba, yung with yung talk ni Miss Heather
Yes.
dito na yung what's the line nga po between yung nga po cultural appropriation nga po and yung authentic expression nga po with storytelling, ganyan. Kasi actually, one of the projects na gusto ko rin balikan after I graduate, it's about it's not my lived experience, yung themes and topics po. So, how would you nga po yun? How would you balance nga po yun? Na-mention na nga din po yung in terms of parang sensitivity, ganyan po. And knowing the issues that the people that you're depicting face po. Yun, what's the line po between nga po
Ano to in
writing about something that's not your lived experience po, ganun.
parang vicarious experience.
Kasi minsan po, ma'am, like for me po, like for Pangasinense,
Ah,
mga Pangasinan.
and then you write about
You write
Cordillera.
Yes.
There are times po kasi na kapag nagsulat po, for example, na I'm not from this place and parang yun nga po, magsusulat ako about their culture and practices. Yun nga po. Parang paano po siya, ma'am? Paano po yung line?
Well, it's good that you're thinking about it right now,
Yes,
di ba? And you're asking about it. And you're finding a way to deliver it. First is write it down, whatever comes to your mind, because if you find that as blocking yourself from working, then it's not helping muna. So write it down first, and then ask friends to read it or to at least people who you trust, not everyone, kasi ang daming magbibigay ng comment na ganito ganyan, but it doesn't come from an informed perspective. And then you learn along the way. Some people would be scared to comment about your work too, or things like that. But there would be trainings that will come along. Cultural appropriation. You can also get it from a training on your emotions, on your sincerity, or things like that, or how to relate with the community. Ang daming mga trainings on doing cultural research and stuff like that, what not and what to publish, or how to behave in a community or things like that. So there are a lot of available resources around. And yeah, don't let it block you. Just do your thing because it appeals to you. If it appeals to you, then you must be identifying with it. And along the way, it's probably you who could only say something about it. But yeah, it's best to be informed with similar issues and see how they've done it. Ganyan.
I see po. So parang you din po, you parang see how other people used to handle it. Ganyan.
Yeah.
Question na lang din po. With song
Songwriting.
composer
Mm-mm.
and yung mga aspiring poet din po. Ano pong masasabi nyo, like advice for them?
Advice.
Yes, ma'am.
On what? On what?
Kung gusto po nilang
Pursue.
mag-start their career and
Yeah, keep doing what makes you feel alive. If doing art makes you feel alive, if it makes you feel authentic, keep doing it. If there's one thing that I don't regret about my post-college years, it's me being authentic to my form of expression. I was broke. There was a time that yung ulam ko na lang condensed milk or stuff like that. um, yung parents ko yung nagbayad ng rent ko ng ilang buwan. Nagkautang ako, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I was very bad at managing myself, but if there's one thing that I was happy I did, it's to be authentic to my own expression. I was writing poetry, I was doing arts, I was performing and stuff like that. And why I'm saying this is when I went to Hanoi for work, those teachers, I was with teachers, I was meeting other professionals and stuff like that, and they don't like what they're doing. And that's very hard to see because wala silang sinceridad sa work na ginagawa nila. They just go there 8 to 5 and they don't get energized with their work. Like, I have this very good friend, she's also a teacher, but what she really likes is to clean the house. And her dream is to work in the ship para mag-ayos ng sheets.
Mag-ano po.
Oo, tapos pag teaching, pinag-uusapan namin ang nega-nega niya. She doesn't wanna do teaching, things like that na parang, sabi ko sa kanya, please find a way para makapag-work ka sa hotel or something like that because she really likes organizing and things like
Parang
that.
hospitality po talaga.
Oo. I mean, like, it doesn't really matter whether you're a cleaner or you work in the grocery or whatever job that is, odd job that is. But if it really aligns to you, if it's really authentic to you, you'll be a gift to the world. And I think when you do your very own thing, like for me, I've been very honest with my own thing. Right now, I could say that from the expression that I can give right now, they say that my presence is very healing to them, like my friends right now. So, yeah, just be authentic to your own expression and to something that you really like to do.
Grabe na
Grabe
na patamaan ako dun sa kanina.
Ako rin.
Hindi yung kwento kasi ni ma'am kanina na nagtuturo siya pero parang every time they're talking about yung teaching, parang kasi ganun din po ako before nung pandemic nung nasa architecture po ako. Kasi I've been talking to my therapist din po kasi. Tapos yun yung comment niya na every time na papasok ako, architecture po yung problema ko, ganyan. Ito yung plates ko na naman na sobrang tambak na di ko naasikaso. But the moment daw na I switch the topic to, ito po yung nagawa kong song. Gusto niyo pakinggan? Instant daw na there's light in my eyes.
Naglaliven ka. Yeah.
Sa akin, ma'am, siguro, ang natamaan ako, yun talagang grabe yung impact, is yun nga po yung nasabi nyo na, be authentic.
Yeah.
Tapos kung gusto mo talaga yung ginagawa mo, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Siguro, wake up call ko din po yun, ma'am. Because yun nga po, kasi ang tagal din, simulan, personal quote naman. Pero, it's a great wake-up call din po talaga sa akin.
Saka yun nasabi niyo din po na it's a way to be a gift to this world nga po.
Yeah.
The world will benefit nga po with your authenticity.
Yeah. Because that's your gift and it's your only gift is the gift that you have is that's the gift that you can give to the world.
So that's it for our episode for today. That's Outdoor Aphorism. So again, I'm Hazel.
I'm Jimig with our special guest po for today, Ma'am Dumay. Yes.
And again, this is
OA Podcast.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.